right, so 2018 SEO. First thing I want to show you real quick is the search engine, because there's so much changing and happening that you may or may not be aware of with the search engines, okay? So the first thing you have, when somebody types in a keyword up here, this is called a query, okay? So the first thing you notice here is as soon as somebody starts to type in a query or speak, that's with the little microphone there, they can search by voice, these suggested terms come up. And these suggested terms are actually keywords people have searched recently. So if you're doing a blog topic or creating content or making a video around what do I need to buy a house, you might want to start looking at these suggested terms because they're very popular. Look at that. And this is one of the ways I get a lot of ideas for my real estate blogging and for my videos is using this suggest box up here. All right. Next, we have these green things here are ads. So those are your sponsored ads. Those are your Google pay-per-click. I do own a marketing company called ballenbrands.com, and we actually do pay-per-click services for real estate agents and for regular client, for other clients. And we build real estate agent websites, and then we help drive traffic to them. So I do some of this too for my own companies, but I can tell you in Vegas, where the average price ranges are lower, it's really hard to get that cost per click to add up. So I end up focusing on the long tail keywords, which are things like, what do I need to buy a house, instead of just buy a house. And I'm getting some of those clicks for as low as a nickel. It's absolutely incredible. But still, it's hard to get all that to add up. I prefer organic, and I focus on SEO as much as I possibly can. But there is some definite opportunities for pay-per-click. And I can tell you, like a lot of the big expansion teams right now that are going to all these new locations, they're blowing it up with pay-per-click. And what concerns me is that I think we're going to start to see some real bidding wars against our own expansion teams and our own people, because they're all going after that pay-per-click. So it's going to get more and more competitive, and that landscape is just going to get more challenging and more expensive. So I think now is the time, if all you're doing is pay-per-click, to start thinking about some of these other avenues, such as SEO, which is probably why you're on the call today. All right, anybody know what this is called? This next item right here? Kind of watching as you guys are popping in there. Yeah, this is a featured snippet, okay? Also referred to as the zero position or the answer box. I do teach best practices to earn that answer box. I absolutely love it. I just closed a home that was 2.5 times my average price range here in Vegas. And I track all of my lead sources. I track everything. How did people come in? What was the source? What page did they land on? So I can actually assign ROI to a blog post, which is incredible. And I just closed one, and all they did is they went to Google and they said retiring in Las Vegas, and up came my featured snippet up here. And they clicked through, and they wound up filling out, looking at houses. They registered to look at houses, look at the photos. We contacted them, and they ended up buying, and all from the one blog post. So this is cool. I have some best practices here on how to get this featured snippet. I'll tell you really quick, because it is one of the items on the list. One of the ways is you've got to get your page ranking at the top of Google. Now, there are some exceptions to that, but from all of the studies that I've seen, the correlation is that we are all ranking already on the top pages of the top spots of Google. Okay, so to earn this spot, you've got to really answer a question in depth. It's got to be really informative. Google has to determine you have the best answer, and you're going to want to be ranking high. And then there's something called schema, and you can mark up your page with schema, which is really just a simple plugin if you're using WordPress. It's not. It sounds complicated, but it's not. And it kind of tells Google a little bit more, like, this is an image, this is an article, this is a review. It gives them a little more information as to what the article is about, so can improve your chances. Although I don't know that we're really seeing a direct correlation. A lot of websites have no schema markup, and they're earning this spot up here. So pretty cool up here. All right, the next awesome section here is people also ask. The people also ask box is another great place to land in, and another great place to get ideas in. So again, just like the featured snippet, The goal is to write as many blogs and create as many videos as you can around questions, and then answer the questions. And the better you do that, the more likely you are to rank here, and you're going to get a link here. And every time you click on the people also ask box, it grows and it keeps giving you more and more suggestions. So if you get your content team together, or your admin, or you're writing content, and you say, boy, I have no idea what to write about, this is huge. Just go hit that people also ask box, and you can get a lot of ideas. So this is another huge thing that's happening now on Google. At the bottom of Google, you're going to see ads again, and then you're also going to see more searches related to what I need to buy a house. So I'm going to come back to that in a couple minutes when I talk about semantically related keywords. This is gold. This is going to be really important. And then we also have things like where to, let me see if it'll pop up here, buy roses. So we have these ads showing up on the right. You see this here? The right column on Google is essentially gone. However, they are, these sponsored searches are either showing up here on the side with images, or they're showing up in the top in a carousel ad. And I got to tell you, you guys that are real estate agents, me too, I think we're going to be seeing a selection when you type in homes for sale. It's only a matter of time before a carousel shows up here on top that they can slide through. And let me tell you, if Zillow owns that, oh, right? I mean, it's going to be painful. And so we've got to really be focused on these long tail keywords. And a long tail is, you know, several keywords used together that better target a smaller audience. So for example, a head term might be real estate. And then to drill down a little bit further, we might say Las Vegas real estate. And then to drill down a little further, we might say Las Vegas real estate with a Las Vegas real estate agent. And then to drill down farther, we say best Las Vegas real estate agent. And then to drill down farther, best Las Vegas real estate agent at Keller Williams, right? And so each one of those long tails, buy a house, buy a 3-bedroom house, buy a 3-bedroom house under 400,000, buy a 3-bedroom house under 400,000 with a pool. You see how that goes? Those are where we can still compete in the SEO landscape and the pay-per-click landscape, even though Zillow and all them are up there. All right. All right. So that's kind of a look at the search engines. One of the things that's happening this year, it's been coming and has already taken place a little bit, is RankBrain. And RankBrain is Google's artificial intelligence. It's machine learning. And essentially, what RankBrain does is it measures interaction with the response. Okay, so if I were to go up here and I'm to type in Seattle homes for sale, from right here, RankBrain has kicked in and is measuring now what happens next. So now this user is looking here at Seattle homes for sale. Look how many ads, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Man, Google's cleaning up now, right? And they start looking at what we do, and then they notice, okay, I click on this one, and now it starts measuring clicks on the page. How long do I spend on the page? You know, what am I clicking? How am I engaging? And this then tells RankBrain really where our page fits on the search engine results page, and they'll change the rankings accordingly. Okay, so this RankBrain is really important. So it's going to come into play again here in a minute when I talk about click-through rate. In fact, I'll do that one now. So click-through rate is how many times your page shows up here on the search engine results page, which is called a SERP. And how many times it shows up, that's called an impression. So each time your page, your website is listed here, that's an impression. And your click-through rate is going to be how many times people click divided by those number of impressions. And what we know is RankBrain is measuring this click-through rate. And the more your website shows up here and gets clicks, higher click-through rate is going to help you in the rankings. Now, one of the ways that you can find out how you rank, what your click-through rate is this Search Console. So I've clicked over here to this tab. This is Google Search Console, another free tool. So far everything I've showed you is free, which is really cool. I do use some paid tools, but this stuff's all free. And what Search Console does is it gathers keywords that people are using to find your website. See, we don't get that data released to us automatically. Google locks all that up. And so you're only seeing a very small percentage of what your website ranks for when you're looking at keywords like on your clicky site. That's something a lot of my students are using is clicky analytics. You only see a small percentage. So this is nice to be able to go reference. And when you look at this, you look at the click-through rate over here. So every time somebody types in the keyword phrase retire to Las Vegas, I'm in the #1 position, technically the #0 position with the rich snippet, but this only tracks 1. It doesn't say 0. I have a 28.57% click-through. So that's really high. Now, when you start looking at keyword at your click-through rates and they're low, you can actually sort this low to high. That tells you, maybe I need to go in here and optimize my snippet. So this is a snippet. It's when your page shows up and you have your title, your URL, your description. That's a snippet, okay? Well, you can actually change that title and you can change that description and you can put in a call to action. You can put in emojis. You can earn these site links that are showing up right here, which is something that I teach. So the better your snippet looks, the higher your click-through rate, and the higher your click-through rate, you're more likely to rank better. See how that works? Because RankBrain is measuring that click-through rate. So that's how that all kind of works together there. Next thing you need to know about 2018 SEO is long form content. Let me tell you what this means, okay? Long form content means you are going to cover a topic in depth. You're going to cover as much as you can on that topic. You're not going to cheat. You're not going to go short. You're going to cover it. So if your topic is how to find the best waterfront property in Seattle, I think I saw my friend Melina Wilson on here, so now I keep going back up to Seattle in my brain. If you're how to choose the best waterfront property in Seattle, you need to really dive down and talk about what are all of the important factors about buying waterfront property and which neighborhoods offer what and what the average sales prices are for waterfront property, maybe per neighborhood, maybe per zip code, however that works for you. And you're really going to cover this in depth. Long form typically is a couple thousand words or more. Okay. Now, what you need to do is right here is not get scared. Because one, you can hire this out. My company at Ballen Brands, we do content. You can also use a ghostwriter from a company like Crowd Content. Sabrina can send out the link there for you to Crowd Content. And you're going to pay per cent. You're going to pay per word a certain number of cents based on the quality of the writer. But then you have to optimize it and put in the images and linking and kind of learn some of those on-page SEO tactics. Okay. All right. So long form content. The good news is the less competitive the topic is that you're going after, the less in depth it has to be. So if I'm just writing a little critique on a restaurant down the street that just opened in Summerlin, Las Vegas, where I live, it could be 150 words and it could rank if there's no competition. So don't get caught up in counting the words on the page and saying, oh, good, I have 2,000, I'm good now. That really isn't correct. Now, here I have a tool. This one's not free, but this is a really cool tool. This is called SEMrush, and I have a link for a trial on that too. Sabrina can send you. All of the software that I use is at loristools.com. All of the links. So if you say, oh, what was that thing she said on the webinar, go to loristools.com and you can see a list. This is called SEMrush, and it's by far my favorite SEO tool, and I use it for everything. Well, there's something here called the SEO Content Template. And what you're able to do is you can go here and say, I want to write a house. I want to write an article on retiring in Las Vegas. And I want to compare with all of the United States, or I want to compare with just Nevada. Okay, so mine's already set for just Las Vegas. So that's one way to do it. Or you can get rid of the city and say, you know what, I'm trying to really make this global. Most of us are really going to focus on local, I hope. And then you can say, I want to compare phone or desktop. Now watch what happens when we click create SEO template. What SEO content does is it scans the web and it pulls in the top 10 competitors for that term in your market or wherever you chose just now in your settings. Then it's going to take the collective averages and give us some information. So what it tells us here is the average recommended text length is 973 words. So if I wanted to come on and rank for that phrase, I know that that's how in-depth people have covered it, only about 1,000 words, okay? So I'm going to go in there and cover it more in depth. And by doing so, I'm likely to create 1,500 words or 2,000 words. Now listen how simple this is. If you can write, you could sit down for an hour every Saturday drinking your coffee, you're going to sit down for an hour. You could easily write 500 words that hour, or you could make a video and have it transcribed for $1 a minute, and then it turns into some verbiage for you. And you could do one blog a month that's 2,000 words long and just write 1 hour every Saturday. So it doesn't have to be as overwhelming as you might think, okay? And as you can see here, then SEMrush gives us the top 10 pages so that we can go look at each one of them and see sorry, I got a cat climbing on my lap now, to see where what it is that we need to do. So in my case, I'm number 1 here, which is fantastic. And that would kind of give me a gauge for, okay, this is where I need to go. All right. Now, the next thing you need to know about is LSI keywords or semantically related keywords. And I got to tell you, there's 2 things that I believe are the most important things you need to know about SEO in 2018. And even without doing any special technical optimization or any of this, there's 2 things. One is a topical website. So what that means is the more on topic you can write, the better you're going to rank. So for example, here, watch this. If I go over to my search engine and I type in Las Vegas homes for sale, okay? Now watch what happens. We get ads, and then we get Zillow, Realtor.com, Trulia, Redfin, brokers, okay, the norm. Now watch what happens. Let's change Las Vegas homes to Las Vegas condos. Okay, so the first one was just all real estate, all homes. Now the second search is condos. Look what happens. The ads changed. And then we have Zillow, Realtor.com, but look at the number 3 position. It's a condo website. It is a website, all he has done, or she has done, I'm not sure which one this is, has written about condos. So their website is going to naturally rank higher than condos than the rest of us that have jack of all trades real estate websites. You see how that works? Now watch this. Las Vegas high-rise condos. It's going to change again. And so now the first organic spot is no longer Zillow. Look at that. He beat Zillow. It's not even there. The top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they're all high-rise websites. So because they have specialized their content all using the same semantically related keywords, the same language around those buildings, they're able to rank higher. So for example, if I wanted to geographic farm Summerlin, which is where I live, it's a very, very large area here, I would be better off building a website all about Summerlin than to have a website that also includes Henderson and Green Valley and this one and this one and this one. It's probably going to rank more powerfully for Summerlin. But then the challenge is, how do you have enough time or energy to build multiple websites? Most people don't. But what I would suggest to you is if you have a website that's your jack of all trades real estate website that most of us have, and you have the time, energy, money, any of the above, to start another project, you might want to build a second website that is just so specifically, for example, 55 plus. That's something I'm considering doing, is building a whole website around retirement 55 plus, because it's such a big community out here. And I think I could do really well with it. And I've got senior designation agents, and I think it'd be cool. Another thing, you've seen it with the luxury websites, right? How people build only luxury websites because of the look and the color and the feel and the language. So that's all very, very important. So the number one thing I said everybody should know in SEO is on topic websites, as on topic as you can possibly be, as focused around a particular language. I mean, we killed it with short sales because it was all we wrote about with short sales. You know, it's the same idea. It's just growing and growing. And the number two is semantically related keywords. And so what that means is if you scroll down here to the blog, you'll be able to look at LSI keywords, and you'll be able to see, here's an example. Yeah, one example might be if somebody types in how to buy a house, all right, Google's going to look at that and say, well, how to buy a house. I also expect to see words like credit score, real estate, home inspections, loans, down payments, financing, timelines, contingencies, for sale by owner. They're looking for, instead of taking the same keyword and stuffing it in over and over and over again, or instead of just finding synonyms, it's deeper than that. It's what else in this topic would be related. If I'm going to write about staging a home, they're going to expect to see words like design, you know, furniture items, decor, aesthetically pleasing. And how they do this is they take an aggregate of top ranking pages that have similar keywords, and they set this sort of expectation. Now, SEMrush has something similar in this content template that we use. Remember here we typed in retiring in Las Vegas. So here is what SEMrush says are semantically related keywords: retirement community, move to Las Vegas, outdoor activities, mountain views, Vegas Strip, cost of living, crime rate. Can you see how that topic, if you're going to talk about baseball, you're probably going to talk about hot dogs and pie and American. Okay, I shouldn't use baseball as an example because I don't do sports, but you get the idea there, right? Those are some really important things. Another important thing you should know about is mobile first index. So mobile first index is going to be crushing for some businesses. Mobile first essentially says now, we are no longer accepting your app, your forced app when somebody Googles your name. We're no longer going to accept your mobile friendly version that's not necessarily mobile responsive. You have to be mobile responsive, and we're actually going to look at your mobile site as your real site and your desktop site as your secondary site. This is so scary. I mean, for those of us, I'm a desktop girl. I design, I build, I live, I work on my desktop. So I'm constantly having to go over to my mobile device and take a look at how does this website perform? Is it, you know, interacting with it hands-on, touching buttons, touching menus? Did this go where I want it to go? In fact, almost every night as I'm drifting off to sleep, that's what I'm doing. I'm pull up a search on the random search on my mobile phone and find my website, start clicking around, and then I make notes, and then I make changes accordingly. So mobile first index is going to be huge. You got to make sure it's up to date. Video SEO, guys, if you're not doing it already, video is absolutely huge. 55% of the results that show up on the search engine results page include video. So over half of the result pages based on a search query, include video. So I started a very, very aggressive video campaign for my marketing company this year, Ballen Brands. And I said, you know what? We are going to make a training video on everything that we do. We are going to be the go-to resource, and we're going to rank for everything you can imagine, from broken links to SEO to Facebook ads to lead ads. We're going to go interview a bunch of real estate agents. And let me tell you, it's just going wild. And another thing I did is I created a culture video with my team. So I told everybody, hey, it's not just me that's going to create video. All of us are going to create video. So they all have a day that they have to submit a video. And for real estate or whatever your business is, it should be no different. I have a little bit different model. My real estate team it's a physical team, but it's a little more referral based. So I don't really manage them. But if I were consulting a real estate team, a big team that has agents and all, I'd say, guys, go get your video on. Get everybody doing it once a week. Have them go out and view new construction. Have them go out to the parade. Whatever. Get on video. Open houses, Facebook Live, listing appointments, role playing, video. I think it's just absolutely huge, and it's just going to grow and grow and grow. And if you have a brew, those are the websites I developed. They're called Ballen real estate websites. They're IDX powered, they're WordPress powered, IDX driven lead generation systems. And our content blocks allow you to embed video quite simply, where you don't have to worry about the measurements and the mobile responsive and all of that. So if you need a real estate website, make sure you contact us, ballenbrands.com/brew. You can check out those websites. Now, before we go, I want to tell you about these videos really quick, something really important. You want to make sure that you're titling them with keywords. You want to put a call to action, and sometimes I put little portions of the transcript in this box. You can put 5,000 characters in this box, and the more you put in there, that's like an article or description or tutorial, anything like that, the more likely you are to rank for that video. Then there's a tags and keywords you can put in. I use a fantastic tool. Go to loriestools.com and take a look at TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy will actually allow you to do this quick little explore, and you can type in the keywords you want to rank for, or that your video's about, and it will suggest to you the best keywords to use based on searches, based on competition, and then it'll track them. Look here, I ranked number 13 for this keyword, 9 for this keyword, 9 for this keyword, 10 for this keyword. I put this video up this morning. I put that video up an hour before we all went live, I guess it was. What time does that say it was? 7:12 this morning. So that's how cool TubeBuddy is. All right, so I have to let you guys go because I promised I'd respect your time. There's more to learn. Check out this blog here. I did cover what I wanted you to know about 2018. Everything else there is going to be standard SEO that still very much applies. Ranklikeaboss.com. There's a sale today for you guys. Sabrina's going to send you out an email where you're going to be able to get the Rank Like a Boss video course and expansion pack for a discounted price. So she's sending that out to you guys. And again, if you need any marketing services, check us out at ballenbrands.com. And for your real estate referrals, Las Vegas, Henderson, North Las Vegas, there's only one Ballen to remember. Lori Ballen team. I would love your referrals. BALLEN. And I got a team here that's going to work them like crazy. All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you all. Have a fantastic, powerful lead generating day. Talk to you soon.